Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Liberal Loudmouth. So earlier today, I was going through Blue Sky like I normally do, and I ran across a video of Chris Murphy talking about kleptocracy. Let me play this clip real quick, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
I think it's really important to explain to people the why. Right? Why is Donald Trump engaged in this relentless campaign to try to silence journalists, media companies, and his political opposition? It's because he's trying to steal from you. He and his friends are in charge of government because they want to rig the rules in order to make them even richer. The billionaires that are in charge of this cabinet want to be multi-billionaires. Donald Trump will never be satiated. He wants to steal from ordinary Americans in order to make him and his Mar-a-Lago friends even richer. And the reason that he wants to silence his critics and silence the media is that he doesn't want anybody to notice the kleptocracy that he is building. Unless you tell that story, right, how does it impact you, right? Because, I mean, does the average citizen really care about whether ABC News settles a lawsuit or not? No, but they do care.
Okay, and there's Chris Murphy talking about how he's going after the media to silence them so that they don't talk about the fact that he's stealing from the American public with a kleptocracy, which is essentially a government that's stealing from the people, and like that's its purpose. The reason that I disagree with Chris Murphy only using kleptocracy as an example of why he might go after the media is that it diminishes the danger that the United States is currently in. Because some people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, if he's just going to enrich himself, he'll do it for 4 years and then he'll leave. No, I don't believe that that's the case. Yes, what Chris Murphy said is true. Donald Trump is building a coalition of oligarchs to go in and take what they can for themselves to enrich themselves. But that's not the only reason that Donald Trump is doing this. Think back to Rockefeller and Carnegie when they basically competed against each other to try and become, you know, the most rich person. In their old age, you know, I think in their 70s maybe, they began competing on a different level. They began competing to see who could be the most philanthropic. Because in a stage of your life at that age, money has no value to you anymore. You know that your days are numbered. You'll see 20 years, maybe. Donald Trump is already wealthy. His family is wealthy. He left his family with, multi-billions of dollars. He left his family with this huge brand. Everybody knows the name Trump. So I don't think that's what this is about at all. And I don't think Donald Trump cares enough about those oligarchs for that to be the reason either. Donald Trump is pandering to the oligarchs to get them to just come to him for this transactional business amongst each other. It's like, hey, you do for me, and I'll make sure that you get yours, and we'll get rid of these regulations. That is for them to become wealthy. But Donald Trump needs those people because they own the means of production. They also own the narrative, a lot of them, through the media. Donald Trump isn't in this to just take money from you. Donald Trump wants power and control. While Rockefeller and Carnegie were philanthropic, Donald Trump wants ultimate power and ultimate control. I did a video just yesterday reading an article from 1933 that lays out the prognosis right after Adolf Hitler took power. The prognosis of him is like he'll be able to walk away as this hero of Germany if he just lets the government do their job. And as it turns out, that prognosis was piss poor. They said Adolf Hitler's going to have to just take the middle road because he put in a bunch of political ignoramuses that don't know what they're doing. They underestimated the sheer need for power and control by Adolf Hitler, which he desired, and he did everything that he could to get it all. And then history happened. And let's think about it this way. How many women have accused Donald Trump of sexually abusing them? Countless women. E. Jean Carroll, what he did to her in that dressing room, that isn't about sexual gratification. That's not about sexual gratification at all. Donald Trump could pay money to somebody to be gratified in that way. No, that signifies a man who needs to dominate somebody else, who needs to take power and control over other people. That is his gratification. He doesn't care about the sexual part of it. It's about power and control. And this is just a simple fact. Look at any psychologist that talks about serial rapists, and they'll tell you the same thing. That's what Donald Trump desires ultimately, is the ultimate power and control. So when Chris Murphy and others say that Donald Trump is here for a kleptocracy, they are diminishing the danger that this country and you are in. I know it sounds alarmist for me to say things like this, but Donald Trump is going to rule like Hitler. I'll say it again so you can quote me later. Donald Trump will rule like Hitler. He will be a despot. He will kill people. He will put them in jail. He will use the Justice Department to go after anybody that says anything negative about him. He will praise those that put his image up on walls in their buildings. He doesn't necessarily care about his face being memorialized in a statue. He wants his name up on the buildings. That's what he'll go for. When you look at third world countries and they have images and icons of the leaders in the country, like when we went and toppled that statue of Saddam Hussein, Donald Trump won't have a statue of himself there necessarily. He's going to put his name on it because that is what Donald Trump wants. Now, we may not see as much death as we saw with Hitler, obviously, but we're going to see that similar type of power and control that Hitler placed on everybody around him. He'll demand things from them. This is what he wants. So I think it's probably not the best idea to just say that it's a kleptocracy, because that absolutely diminishes the danger that this country is facing right now under the threat of Donald Trump. And that's what he is. He is a threat to this country, to you, to your family, and to the values that we hold dear in this country. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree or agree. Do you think that calling it just a kleptocracy is diminishing the danger that we are actually in? Let me know. Guys, this is the Liberal Loudmouth, and we will catch you in the next video. Peace.